the Crimean Khanate. It says here not playable, but that's exactly what we're about to do.
Oh, so it's a mod that lets you play as the Khanate.
Darthmod is like a general overhaul, but this is like something that you can do with it. It's like enabling all factions and stuff. I think they incorporated Empire Total Factions at some point, which is a faction unlocker.
Why can't one use all the factions in the original? Was there like stuff that wasn't implemented correctly or stuff like that?
No, by default, the premise of these Total War games is that you have like a couple factions you can play as, and the rest are like NPC factions usually. So yeah, we will try this. That's not saying that we will succeed this time, because we are a small one-province minor. We have one of the major factions at our border, which is at war with us, and we are dominated by another major faction, which we'll have to go to war against if we want to unlock our diplomacy.
That reminds me of like playing. What is the World War II strategy game again called by? Um, I've totally forgotten names of things. That World War II strategy game akin to this.
Also, I just saw that I don't have that I don't have Totors unlocked yet.
Arga.
A World War II game with an overworld,
Like this.
like Hearts of Iron, or
Yeah, Hearts of Iron. It reminds me of one of my classmates that I used to sit alongside with in school used to play Hearts of Iron all the time instead of studying. But he would also always try to be the one that, oh, I'll play as Austria or I'll play as Czechoslovakia, meanwhile everything else being surrounded. Or installing mods that lets them like play as in modern day as like Chechnya or like partially recognized entities like uh, Abkhazia or Transnistria, or them playing stuff like Liechtenstein, trying to take over the world as Liechtenstein. I mean, Crimea may be a single province nation here or faction, but Crimea is a big island.
yeah, like a big peninsula. And also like the area of the Crimean Khanate extended usually over the peninsula.
Like, if I recall correctly, it takes like the peninsula of Crimea, I think, is bigger than Switzerland.
So I got us some trade routes, because those will generate money, and the longer they are staying up, the better.
Okay, yeah, it takes more than 3 hours to drive across Crimea, for example. I like when the the NPC actions are sped up. It looks like slideshowy.
It does. It's only centering NPC movement because I enabled that option.
So many factions.
Yeah, and it calculates all of them individually.
I wonder if that's probably also one of the reasons why it would probably... How old is this game?
I don't remember.
Well, like probably earlier computers would have really slowed down by stuff like this.
If you had a worse computer back when this game released, it did slow down.
Чем могу служить? Ожидаю приказа.
This assassin uses Russian voice and the Middle Eastern graphic.
Осторожность – мое кредо.
Yeah, probably not fully incorporated, I guess. That's just it.
I mean, they could have used like Ottoman voiceovers, for example, but it's also like interesting or funny that there's a similar thing going on with the unit roster. There's like Tatars, which is like cavalry units, but beyond that, the units that we can recruit are Cossacks.
I would think that this point in time, most of the units would be Tatars, but then just suddenly Cossacks. I mean, I don't know how far into time it was, but most Eastern European or most Slavic nations in the East would have Cossacks at some point. But this is Turkic.
So since we have no university town, we'll probably have to be buying technology with money, if possible even.
University town, Simferopol. That's probably not a thing yet at this time.
I mean, with the Crimean Khanate, uh, Bakhchisarai would become the capital after, was it? No, it wasn't Mengli, it was... I forgot, it was the first Jirai Khan. After his death, Bakhchisarai became the capital from Chufut beforehand. And Sevastopol, this would have been also something else. And even then, like, the major trading port of the Crimean Khanate, I think, was actually Kaffa. It's also interesting in that sense that Azov is, well, on one hand, Azov is misplaced on this map, but it's also not developed even.
Yeah, isn't Azov more north?
Azov is right now over here, which is the place of... Well, this is actually even farther inland than Rostov, but Azov would actually be somewhere down here at the estuary.
So, yeah. Meaning. I guess. So the Strait of Azov. Um, why do they look like claws? It's like a crab. I don't know why I'm thinking that.
A little bit. If I just didn't tax this province, I would still make an income, and in 16 turns I would have an additional town. That's pretty good. I'm super hesitant. Like, maybe I could try attacking Ukraine and getting Kiev. That would be... What would this be? They have 1 artillery, they have Streltsy. But then I would also leave my capital open for an attack. And I don't know if they have more units back there. I could attempt it, but I would safe scum this. If I were to conquer Kiev, I might be able to, but I'm not sure. I might be able to place a university in Kharkov. It's actually also funny that if I were to take Kiev, I would automatically be bordering the capital already of Russia. YOLO.
Вперед! Марш! Собрать припасы!
Ваша светлость. Что пожелаете?
Yeah, I believe they have no... They might not have another army over here which could be relief. Also, if I expand over here, I have to pay attention about Poland. It is definitely a thing in this game that theoretically you can start out as any of the major factions and you can sort of steamroll everybody else if you're smart about it. There is later on in the next game, Napoleon Total War, they would actually make it so that there's an achievement for if you start as France, declare war on everybody in the world and win that session. And you have to declare war in the first turn.
Да, Ваше Величество. Как крысы в клетке.
I noticed that they are dug in. No bots on my channel.
Was there a bot I had collapsed the thing?
Yeah. I hope I can bait the Russians into assaulting me, because they are outgunned. Or rather, I am outgunned.
I forgot how one checks again who is actually watching. There used to be like a button where it would show who is in the chat. Anyway, it's just 2 watchers now. Viewers, rather.
Actually, is the... I think they actually cannot rotate the mortars like this. So he's just fucked.
He stands there accepting defeat. Or death, rather. Or...
He does not get baited. Wait, something's happening.
If you're really good at baiting, then you are the... Sorry.
I am, in fact, the...
the best smoocher.
I'm confusing the AI by attacking from two sides, or a third one, I guess, as well. Hello Phoebe, and yes, I am streaming Empire.
Who is this? It's not
Actually,
showing up.
is
not
the
showing.
display not showing up on the stream that there are chat messages?
No, because no, and the chat isn't showing anything at all for me.
Okay, that's weird. No,
Okay,
I
now.
can see it. Yeah, now it's... I can see that it is working.
Now, every time I collapse the chat, it actually turns off the chat as well. Wow.
Всем боевой порядок!
So I
But so anyhow, it's nice to see people join our freshly made mess. I'm not sure anymore, but I think I can build a college here. That's why I'm demolishing the factory.
the mess you made, all the goop all over the place.
Я ваш покорный слуга.
I'm in a voice chat with somebody, as people watching can hear.
In a voice chat with an absolute.
You cut off.
In a voice chat with an absolute dork. You are. I am the dork.
You are in fact a Dirk. Half dork and half Dirk. I need to think, where do I need to expand next? I think I actually need to get a second army. I actually used to play... Well, I have streamed thus for a both a session as Austria and as the Ottoman Empire. But there has been a hiatus over the over like December and a lot of January as well, I guess. But I also do play other games as well. It's just that I randomly felt again like playing a session over here. Also some nice little trivia. If the Crimean Khanate had owned Kiev at this point in time, like just as you have with other languages, you have exonyms, like place names from one language into another area that they maybe are not controlling administratively at the time. And so the Tatar name for Kiev is presumably Menkermen, or was for a while back in time. Because there was like a like the Crimea that you see in the game right now, like this province here, that's the Crimean Khanate at a specific point in time. But at various times the Khanate extended over other areas as well as like their predecessors, like the Golden Horde, covered a lot more area. And so you had different place names for different places.
I'll be right back.
So yeah, Kiev, if there had been place name changes in this game similar to, let's say, EU4, Kiev would change into Menkermen. It is always the case in this game that the AI is just asking exorbitant amounts for minuscule technologies or provinces. I am just going to bank on the fact that Sweden has probably at this point in the game already declared on Russia, so Russia is going to be beset from more than one direction. Also, I do hope that my button still works for like getting my voice across on stream, because I've set it up that I need to click a button for you to hear me. Now we can actually recruit Kalmyks. Kalmykia is this area over here. In this game it's like carved up, but this is Kalmykia, or yeah, Halmdunch. I don't know. It's in one language it's called Halmdunch, but yeah, whatever. The Kalmyks are it's basically the only officially recognized area in Europe which is natively Buddhist, and it's they are speaking, and how do I say this? Like the Kalmyks, they migrated as one of the Oirati tribes from Mongolia over here, so the language that they speak is closer to Mongolian.
Да, милорд. Ваше Величество. Скрываюсь. Я не могу туда идти.
If I build enough of a force, I might be able to get Moscow. And of course Moscow is going to give a lot of money. Yeah, I mean, I do admit that I know probably more than some people do about many things, but I also think it's like interesting. Like people often find like they are often not interested in places on the world or they aren't interested in like topics of history, for example. A lot of people, simply because they don't already know just how much of a wealth of interesting things there are in any given place. If you're like interested in knowing like the various extents of the Crimean Khanate in IRL history, I also like mapped it out at some point before. I think I put that map on Twitter, maybe. At any rate, I am also on Twitter, just in case you're interested. I do study, but I study more in the direction of like geology and geography, which is of course like that's one of the areas I'm interested in, but I'm also like, of course, like you already noticed it, I'm already interested in history as well. Also, I have like a little bit like a specific area of interest also in like place names, place name etymology and so on. It's like a neat little way in which you can combine like geography and history and linguistics and all of that. Like that's intersectionality for you. If I know all of the country flags, I guess I could name a fair bunch, but I don't know what I don't know, if you know what I mean. Like if you were to play this game with me, like I would not be able to anticipate it when I do not know something. But like for example, Russian flags, stuff like that, and also like for some countries like flags going back in time, like, and also like countries that don't exist anymore. I do know some of it, definitely.
Приветствую.
If I wanted to be very cheeky, I could body block this army with my spy. That's actually a funny thing which was part of the Total War games, like going back to like Rome 1 for instance. You could just body block armies with agents like diplomats.
Исследую цель.
Меня
Исчезаю.
обнаружили.
I have cannons. 12. Yeah, it would cost some money and some turns. I might recruit one artillery unit, maybe. Yes, I'm only at war with Russia at the moment. If you played Empire before yourself, or if you watched a fair amount of like other people playing it, Crimea is one of those minor factions which you're technically not supposed to be playing, but mods can still unlock it for you. And so you start out the campaign with one minor province. You are a protectorate, or yeah, you are in this game a protectorate under the Ottoman Empire. And the Ottoman Empire starts the game at war with Russia. So oh, I would, if you haven't played with mods yet, I can definitely recommend installing Darthmod Empire. I don't know anymore if it's still like available online. The version that you're seeing here is, I think, a 2014 version of Darthmod Empire, which I still had as a backup on my PC.
Ich bin zurück.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. Suddenly silence.
Darthmod Empire. You can also see it in the stream name. I wrote it down in the stream name. Darthmod Empire. Or just Darthmod, basically. Back then, when I last was on the forums, there was like a website, Total War Forums or whatever, and I got the mod from there. I am not sure anymore if the author of the mod, Darth Vader, is still operating. I don't know that.
I'm looking at the page. It's on ModDB, but the latest release is 8.0.1 from March 2013.
Yeah, it is definitely old. It's like a decade old at this point, yeah. But if it's also on ModDB, then that is also a route with which you can get it. You just have to like look around, like see if it's correctly installed after you set it up. There's also like a launcher menu for this mod, which like because there's different setups you can use. There's like a launcher which can set everything up automatically just by settings and options you enable or disable.
Also, on the side of it says latest tweets from Darthmod, but it's automatically linked to Facebook, it looks like. And the last one that Darth sent was in 2015, saying that he will make sure to answer as many questions as possible in the next coming days, and then he didn't write anything later.
So I guess he just disappeared one day. The Death Star blew up.
Yeah, that's weird. Like he's...
But like, yeah, Darthmod Empire was super popular at the time, and like, I do remember that Darth Vader did like, he knew that he gained popularity because it's like an awesome mod, basically. It's like a complete overhaul.
But yeah, in both his Twitter and his Facebook, the last thing he said on both, it seemed to be a copy paste. I don't know which one came first, the Facebook post or the Twitter post, saying that he will answer questions in the next coming days, and then he didn't post anything else. What an ominous way to just vanish.
I actually didn't notice this, but we are starting out with historical grievances with the papacy as Crimea.
Oh wait, Darth. So, I did some digging. He vanished from both Twitter and Facebook, but he's still active in a weird in Total War Center.
Yeah, Total War Center, that's the original forums, yeah. So,
So
Total War Center.
he was active. He was more he was active more on Total War Center than he ever was on any other social media website. Wow. Or am I reading this correctly? 2012, 12, 13, 12, 13. Wait, what did I look at?
1312, you're saying?
Okay, I misunderstood. I didn't see that this last post was 2013 on the forum.
Gray, if you have the link to Darthmod, then you can post it in stream chat because Phoebe is asking for it. And I know for a fact, because I've done it before, that if I alt-tab out of the game, it will crash.
Very stable.
Oh, it actually censors links.
In stream chat, it works for me. It looks like. I mean, hold on. Let me try something.
Maybe you can post the link just without www, etc., like making it look not like a link, but...
It censored part of it.
Yeah, the mod in ModDB, it's censored, but whatever. You get the gist of it. You get the gist of it, like just... You can like take a screenshot if you're on phone
Okay,
or
okay,
whatever.
okay. So and just remove the spaces in the last thing I posted.
They are sending an army.
I'll have to give a warning though from at least the last Facebook post. One of the first replies, one of the highest rated replies, is that it apparently completely breaks whatever version of the game that they were using at that time back in 2015.
I'm playing the latest version of Darthmod and the latest version of Empire, and this works for me, so...
Yeah. Let me just quickly check.
At any rate, like, if you have any problems... Like, this was developed during an era where it was, like, a lot easier to just manually do stuff yourself. I could intercept this army, but I'm not willing to gamble that.
It's how gambling addictions start.
No, I'm exactly not gambling that.
That's what I meant. If you did, you would get that. Whatever. You would get a Volkswagen Beetle. I think I'm slightly out of it at the moment. Yeah, that's what happens. Older games that doesn't get updated regularly. and then you repair it with modern tech, and then it just breaks.
Yeah, I do. I am sort of lucky in that sense that the game still works for me. I guess you can always still like try it out with like compatibility modes and stuff like that to see if anything of that sort helps.
I mean, I'll give an example. What was it? I think it was Bad Company 2, Battlefield Bad Company 2. Last time I played it. Same computer, this one. But I updated the drivers for the graphics card. But after doing that, smoke would blink, and smoke would also, from a distance, take up half the map. Like it, for some reason, enlarged smoke so that it covered half the map.
No smoking on my stream. Actually, you are allowed to smoke, but it has to be either gunpowder or cannabis.
Smoking gunpowder. How to burn yourself. Smoking gunpowder. Those those are those what is it called? Prank cigars that existed, I think, in like the early 20s or something. Like the first part. Wait, why was the Swedish flag changing with the pirate? Or is it that it's getting bombarded by pirates?
If a fleet in this game is doing privateering or like raiding trade, that's when like you see the flag switching.
Okay, what was I talking about?
You were doing meep.
Hmm. What was I talking about? Ich bin auch Schweden und mein Tee. Okay.
Yeah, he's Swedish. He's going to get invaded by me at some point in this game.
Uh,
I myself, on the other hand, am from a cut faction which was supposed to be in this game, but then they took it away out of the game.
why?
You can actually still find Swiss units in the game. They were just dispersed among other countries, which actually does have a historical basis. Countries like Spain or France or the Netherlands, all of these countries had their own Swiss regiments. In the case of like Spain, at sometimes it would make up 10% of the Spanish army, or like the army of the Spanish Empire.
It's mercenaries.
Technically mercenaries, but strictly legally speaking, they were like part of the main sort of army, just sort of
And
like a foreign legion, sort of.
that's like what I got from like the limited amount of what I remember from the like the castle thing when I was over there. Like the placards.
Yes, Phoebe, like Swiss mercenaries were a thing for a long time. Like one term for it would be Reisläufer, like Swiss mercenaries, which were basically the main export of Switzerland. It was people next to maybe some cheese.
Chocolade.
Chocolate is more of a modern era thing, like importing cocoa and processing it.
In die Lederei. That's what it's called, right? Lederei.
Tannery?
I don't. No, in in Zurich in the Hauptbahnhof there was something called. Was it called the Lederei?
Lederoch.
Lederach. They had chocolate.
Yes, Lederoch is it's a brand. It's a company.
Do they somehow have something to do with leather?
Not that I know.
Okay. I like how some flags is literally just a coat of arms.
Basically. Or in terms of the Barbary States, which is a faction in this game, but IRL was more than one country, basically. Like, this is a faction composited out of multiple countries in real life. And they just took the flag of Algiers for it.
Simplifying.
Сигнал к бою! Вперед в атаку!
I'm actually not sure if this was a good move. It might have been.
Is the Altai in this game?
The Altai Mountains?
They like it used to be somewhat independent. I don't remember when. Hold on.
I mean, the Altai Mountains would be like over in Mongolia. Like Kazakhstan, Mongolia, stuff like that.
Altai Respublikasi.
I should preemptively attack this army, I really do feel like it. And I will save scum it. I didn't need it really, but I will save scum it.
The Altai is
Торжествуя!
Rock Turks, so that doesn't. Okay. The Altai, Turkic.
Like when you say the Altai, that's a mountain range, basically.
The Altai people, or in English, Altaians.
As Altaic, generally speaking, like that's a word that would be used for like Mongolic, basically.
The Altai people, or in Altai, called Altai Kishi, are a Turkic ethnic group of indigenous peoples of Siberia, mainly living in the Altai Republic in Russia. Several thousand of Altaians also live in Mongolia, in the Altai Mountains of Mongolia, but also in the Altai Prefecture in China and the Altai Republic in Russia. But in all nations are unrecognized as a distinct group. I mean, they look very Mongolian. Is the Hotogoi Khanate, I think.
I do remember that like one of the cut factions is also the is Khiva, or like Khiva, at the Amudarya, I think.
Because yeah, around these mountains and nations close to Mongolia and Russia, there are of course a lot of Khanates back in the time. There's the Jungar Khanate. Existed from 1634 to 1755. Empire Turtle War, what years does it play out?
It starts in 1700 and like latest ends in 1799.
Yeah, stuff like that. Or even the Tanu Rankai should then also exist. But I guess, yeah, simplifying a lot of things to, I guess, be swallowed by other empires at the beginning of the game already before starting, which is probably a way to simplify it. Like the Tanu Rankai is technically already would be a part of the Mongol Empire.
You can ask. I mean, I don't even know like what you want to ask yet, so I don't know like. Just ask, I guess, what you want to ask, Phoebe. Like if you ask, like if you can ask, like I don't even know what you want to ask yet.
Вперед! За корону и... Вперед! Марш!
If it's about like using cavalry units in this game, do know that I'm not somebody really into cavalry. I'm more somebody into like artillery and well, I guess in this game just basic line formations is most efficient. what a furry is.
Well,
you will probably get a different answer from different people, but like, if you want maybe the most basic, lowest common denominator, I guess it's people who like animals, like the idea of like anthropomorphic animals. The concept of anthropomorphism is ascribing human characteristics to something. So this can also, like the concept of anthropomorphism can apply to basically anything. You see that in religion as well a lot, like anthropomorphism on like objects, on processes like the wind, for example, deification. That's anthropomorphism in that context. In the context of furries, back if we want to talk about this, just think about stuff like I don't know, if you know Disney's Robin Hood and you know that like this humanized fox, for example, like that's for example an anthropomorphic animal. You can also think about, I don't know, I guess like in popular media, think for example, I don't know, anything. Yeah, Puss in the Boots would also be like an example of anthropomorphism. It's like in general, like people who like animals, like anthropomorphism with animals. Furries often have like a fursona, which is, I don't know, I guess it also like changes from person to person. Like some furries have a fursona sort of as a like a
representation of
representation.
oneself.
Yeah. I guess for some people I think it might also be like the idea of a better version of themselves in some sense.
I also know I've seen this on sometimes also described as the person with a million OCs. There's some people that just like creating character of the character of the character, of course, but they then don't themselves have a representation of themselves. That I've also seen, although rare, to be honest.
Clamor for reform will be a bitch in this game.
Like the simplest way I would put it, Phoebe, is like it's a spectrum. It's literally a spectrum.
Like light.
Like light, or like me, mm, like me having autism. Like a lot of things are a spectrum. One can say that gender is a spectrum. But I think like the concept of what is a furry specifically, yes, it's anthropomorphic visualize. No, that's not the right word. Anthropomorphizing animals, essentially. Yeah. I remember back in school, a classmate had a list. They said themselves that they were strictly not furry, but we had like a put up on the wall, like a chart that had the title "The Furnace." And like, even though she said herself that she wasn't a furry, she really liked drawing anthropomorphic animals. So it's like one of the early tiers of the furnace, as so it was called, was literally just really liking to draw or to visualize anthropomorphism.
A little sussy, a little bit fruity, a little bit amogus.
Oh no, get out of my head.
No, I will remain inside your head.
Oh, you little saucy barker. Whatever that meme was with the big teeth.
I
Grit
still remember the socialist thief meme.
socialist teeth.
Oh shit. And this session Poland actually doesn't suck, they've conquered East Prussia.
Oh yeah, that one. I forgot about that meme actually.
I really need to think because I need high value targets, and Russia is actually beating back Sweden a little bit.
Historically inaccurate.
I mean, not
I
just that, but last time I played this game, the AI was definitely worse off.
We shall invade Norway and restart the Kalmar Union, even though I think the Kalmar Union was more governed by Norwegians than actual Swedes, but
Marsch! Ваш покорный слуга.
I'm actually not sure where I should be going now that Poland has declared on me.
by the way, I'm next thing on the list of areas in Sweden that I'm writing down that would probably be words worth a visit would be Kalmar, because Kalmar is also the gateway to Öland, which is, yeah, but it's also the capital of the Kalmar Union. And as per some
Uh,
script,
no, we are not playing in the same session. I am playing inside of this game, and Grey is playing a strategy game IRL.
huh? You mean me? You mean me compiling worthy places of visiting?
Yes.
You're not like in most streams that would have more people and a voice chat. They would usually be playing together. That I don't have Empire Total War.
I am thinking right now, maybe I should abandon this province here. Once you go to Europe, like the density of province capitals is a lot bigger. Like you can reach multiple capital cities here in one single turn. And over here in Russia, it's just like vast openness of death and water.
I mean, isn't big area of Russia just very Swedish would be glesbefolkat, but not many people out there.
Grasslands.
Yeah, grasslands, tigers,
That is also
Sibirien.
like white steppes. Like over here, all of this would be steppes. This over here actually would have been part of the Nogai horde. Over here, wait, yeah. Over here on the banks of this river would have been actually Sarajik, which would have been the capital of the Nogai horde.
This is also probably also why, for example, in the east coast in Sweden, no matter how far north you go, most populous places in Sweden is always kind of to the east, in as like following the coast. Well, that's also because it's the coast. There's water there. But further inland to the west, in the north, it's mostly just taigas and steppes. Actually, there is steppes in northwestern Sweden, more or less, where it's very. I've seen like videos of people going through there, and it's like you can go for a very long time without seeing a single tree and stuff like that.
Вашим услугам, сэр.
It's also up there in the north, central north and western north, where during the winters the public road network is connected via lakes, like roads actually just you drive on the ice and that's the road.
Что приказано?
I actually want to experience that sometime. It's so far north. Like experience how a steppe is like, or how driving across ice is like, as well, grooved into a road, as they say by the local authorities when winter comes and the lakes freeze over. They like go out and plow a road into the ice. During the summer, it's usually a ferry.
I don't know what is going on, but right now it's just like all of the neighboring factions are declaring war immediately. I didn't enable hard mode.
I don't like the AI really said, I don't like the vibe of this. Let's declare war on it.
No Mongols in my neighborhood. I think I do need to attempt taking Moscow.
Moscow, please don't get copyright striked. Just for me saying that. No, Twitch. I almost forgot how weirdly aggressive even Twitch's automatic song recognition is. Like, did you know that you can play crickets? Like, noises of crickets, and it can get shut down by the auto detection system of YouTube or Twitch. Because apparently someone somewhere copyrighted the sound of crickets.
An auto detection system, it detects if you have auto.
If you have a car, automobil.
Да, Ваше Величество.
I will have to do some serious tactical buffoonery.
Krankenwagen. Rettungsdienst. Krankenrettung. What does Rettung mean?
The word jemanden retten, verb. Jemanden retten means to save somebody. Or
So because I've seen in Germany like ambulances instead of like Krankenwagen, as a lot of the Western world is led to believe is German for ambulance. I mean it is sick wagon or whatever, but in Germany it says Rettungsdienst on a lot of ambulances, like rescue service.
yes. The word rescue and the German word Rettung, it's the same. It's the same word.
Beide sind den samme. Is it the same in Swedish? Den samma, den samme, the same. Both are the same in German. How is it?
Like rescue and Rettung, it's the
No,
same
but no, but
origin.
say that both are the same in German.
Beide
Bei
sind das gleiche.
das gleiche, like. Hmm. Like for me, to simplify things, I've taken a bad habit, I guess, of just looking for the closest Swedish word.
I don't
Beide.
necessarily mean that they are equal, Phoebe, but that they are etymologically related.
I forgot. Etymologiskt sett så är de densamma. Med samma bakgrund.
Smørbrød.
Smørbröd isn't Swedish. Come on. Danish. You heck. Smörgåsbord is Swedish. Use that instead.
It's always easier to aim at horses with your artillery because they are larger targets.
No, the horsies. What's your favorite Total War title? Phoebe asks you.
Probably Empire.
The very gay.
The very gay, yes.
The very gay. Sorry about that. One dead. Sniper says, I'm dead. No, I can't get the sniper fucking oops. I can't get the sniper's accent down.
Aha, you see. First, you need to pee into a bottle.
It's a jar.
No, you're an Amazon driver now.
Oof. I nearly became a UPS driver or whatever. It's like part of the jobs the Public Employment Service wanted me to search earlier was also driver jobs. UPS, PostNord, DHL, whatever, Daxer Logistik.
I don't even know what this is supposed to be.
Smoke.
This is just 2 people.
World's smallest unit. No wait. Man, in Movas, I think it's 2. In Movas 2, there is a unit that's a single person. I think it's an American unit that's a single person.
Snipers get spawned as single person, single people.
No, it wasn't a sniper. It's the what was it? The 101st, some sort of 101st type thing.
The airborne also drops individually, but they are more of an ability.
Yeah. But like it's a unit of one single, I guess, Rambo. There's an idea for a game that has kind of materialized in last year's called Totally Accurate Battle Simulator 2. But I had an idea for like a tactics game much akin to this. Battles like this, but where units would be made up out of movie tropes and video game tropes and stereotypes, essentially. So like movie tropes, you would have a unit that would be a single guy with a machine gun, and that would be like Rambo or something. Or like you would have John Wick, Jason Bourne, James Bond, all of these. Or you would have like what other movie tropes is there? I've forgotten. Oh yeah, and also like superheroes. So there would be Shrek. I mean, I think Shrek is actually in Totally Accurate Battle Simulator, isn't it?
I don't know.
No, that's what the. Let me search what game I was thinking about. Ultimate Epic Battle Simulator. But of course all the units in Ultimate Epic Battle Simulator are legally unique, as to not draw the ire of real life big companies. So like John Wick is called Action Man. You can also make your own units. That's probably what I thought. Let me check.
I'm just doing them a Mongol Empire.
Units in the base game, it's an early access at the moment, it's not complete. Include Roman soldier, archer, general, ancient Greek, Spartan, and Persian, battle ducks, mantis shrimps that are ninjas, free-ranged chicken, they shoot eggs, mother of all hens, they are chickens that are the size of towns, and ostriches. Then you have hero units like Action Man, that's John Wick, Chunk Bloris, which is Chuck Norris, Nikola Tesla, for some reason.
That one is not legally distinct.
Yeah, Cleopatra and Laser Knight, which is, of course, Star Wars, whatever. Then you have World War II, American Soldier Shotgun, American Soldier Assault, Sherman Tank,
Yeah, we get the gist.
and for the German side, only German soldier. There's nothing else. Apparently in World War II, there only existed German soldiers with rifles and nothing else. Lastly, they have the Kool-Aid Man, legally distinct as the Juice Man. They also have a T-Rex. And also as specialty units, you have full auto archers, which have machine gun bows, and full auto Shermans that have machine gun cannons. I mean, I would say, Phoebe, I would say wait, probably. It's still an early access. It's still an early access, and the customization of units seem very early. But the point I get from it, just them writing about the customization system, is that you're supposed to be able to. Yeah, I think yeah, Steam. But you're supposed to be able to create like your own units with into the minute details, like weapon and armor and everything, the health, their voice, how much it costs to spawn. And also from the last build that I saw, the UI is not really that handy at the moment. I mean, probably in the future you can do that. I mean, that's the goal. They do have huge orcs. I think that's what I was thinking about when I said Shrek. Because, yeah. Like, I saw some demo battles where it was, what was it? Ducks wearing helmets shooting laser beams versus Kool-Aid men wielding tank cannons at or in Sicily. I would like, for essentially the entire game series of Ultimate Epic Battle Simulator, there is a Ultimate Epic Battle Simulator 1. It started as a shitpost, but it has turned into a series that is now having a sequel. and even though it's an early access, even though the UI isn't helpful and the unit creator is a little bit hard to use, I would say, at the moment. It's very well optimized. From what I saw, you can have armies of over 1,000 characters simultaneously per side. Or I think, what was it, 100,000 characters per side, and you can still get a stable, like, 60 FPS. One actually wonders sometimes, or I wonder at least, how some game devs manage to get stuff like 100,000 simultaneous characters on a screen to have a stable FPS, but then you have Pokemon. What was the latest one called? Bye, Phoebe. The latest.
Goodbye.
The latest Pokemon where they had a memory leak and having 2 characters on screen would reduce the FPS to like 20. That's actually something I wonder. Like, I went to school in a line where the end Abitur, I would guess, is the what one would say would be to create a game. But of course, I didn't really pay attention all that much in classes anyway in that school, so I didn't gain that much knowledge from it. But I actually wonder then how optimization works. How someone can create a game like... how such a high-grossing company can create a game like the latest Pokemon. I mean, it's still a fun game. It's only that the performance of it is absolutely awful. But then some indie dev can create like that battle simulator where, with better graphics than the latest Pokemon, can create a game where you get stable FPS with 100,000 things on screen.
Мы осадили их! Они же прячутся у жен под юбками!
Okay, I will be making a gamble again now.
Оружие!
A gambit gamble.
Something that is funny in this game is that due to a quirk in the AI, it can actually happen that the papacy in Rome can accept becoming a protectorate under Dagestan. And I believe the thing that is causing that is the remoteness of Dagestan.
А, Ваше Величество? Они попали. Мы осадили их.
If I go to intercepting them, I believe there's no enemy army in reach of Moscow. Because if I do that, then I can just take this army, which went around this one, and go from Minsk to Vilna to... From there it's going to be a bit of a slog, because from Vilna you can go either to Königsberg or to Warsaw. I am sort of gambling on maybe Sweden will conquer St. Petersburg. If not, that is going to be a good next target, because Russia is accumulating its armies around here, and the entire rest of their provinces is minor cities. You can sort of see that in this game there are like 3 stages of cities. There are these like minor provinces where you can have 1 building. There are mid-sized cities where you can have 4 buildings. And then they are large or capital cities which have 5. I will try allying Sweden here because it makes tactical sense, if it's possible. Because that secures our northern border. I'm actually surprised that I can ally Sweden. I remembered it being impossible to do alliances while you're a protectorate, but I guess not. Cannot.
Победим!
I am not good at cavalry, but one thing I do know is that you use them for flanking.
Налево! Марш! К бою готов! Осада началась!
Prince Alexander V Suvorov. There is actually a Suvorov memorial in Switzerland in the Alps. But I'm not sure anymore if it's the same Suvorov. I think Poland is actually using all of their armies against Prussia, so I can just take the second capital.
By the way, that's not the same. Look very closely.
It's not as big of a difference.
They were posted so far apart time-wise, so when I posted the first version of the picture, the other one hadn't been released yet. Anyway.
Жду приказа. Будут еще указания. За корону и отечество. Жду приказа. Вашим услугам. Приготовиться. Марш!
I think I do need a small madras here. Also, I noticed that the Iroquois have purchased Morea from Venice. Purchasing a province is actually the best move if you want to play Native American and complete any campaign. Sweden does keep Russia occupied. Karl Gustav Renskjöld. they've led the first Jirai. Oh, now I remembered. Was it Khan Islam Jirai? On his death, the capital of the Crimean Khanate became Bachisarai. I'm not sure anymore if it was Khan Islam or the guy before him. I hope I can sort of use this town here to entrench a little bit, gather up forces, and then going towards all of these areas.
Под прикрытием.
I really wonder what the Ottoman Empire is up to. They are missing out on all of the pillaging that I'm doing.
Жду ваших приказов. Мирно! Вперед! Бойцы, вперед!
They have a lot of elite infantry here. No cavalry and only one artillery unit. Now I do want to wait just a tad longer. a little smidgen longer. I think I actually will leave it at that for this game, for this stream. Let's see, we've started with a one province minor in Crimea. We have conquered Kiev, which we will rename to Minkermen. Then we have conquered Moscow, Moscow, which we are trying to hold on to because it's a lot of money. Temporarily we had the Don region over here, which, by the way, the eastern coast of the Azov Sea used to also be populated by Crimean Tatars. And of course you have other groups here, Circassians and so on. But we held this province for a bit and then Dagestan happened. Poland declared on us and we are pulling an Uno reverse card right now. So yeah, next time we'll probably have to further consolidate our conquests. We are building up the two of our armies, but we have to have something in Kiev which we can send against Dagestan because they are also entrenching. So we need a third army. And this army over here will be able to conquer Königsberg and Warsaw, etc.